Alright, so I've made up some drawer slides for the car, also to hold the fridge on top and for that to slide out, as well as a table. And one of the main reasons I've made it up myself is so we can get the right dimensions for the car, and also to allow one of the additional back seats to still open, and to house also the 12-volt control box. So I'll talk you through what I've done and what materials I've used. So you can see here, this is the original, or the first part of the box that I made up. So I've used some old kitchen material there. And then the other material was the 12mm ply, which I bought from the hardware. So I glued the top on, the rest of it's just screwed together. This here was just having a look at where I could put the control box. I originally thought of putting it on the side, but it didn't really work. So I ended up making up this metal section here, just bent up out of some old shelving material, so I can bolt the control box to that, and also somewhere to put the battery as well. So you can see there I've made it so the battery will be held in partially by that. So here's just trying out, making sure that the dimensions were right to hold the fridge and so on. I didn't end up putting the control box on the front there. As you'll see later on, I ended up putting it so you can access it from the back seat. As you can see just here, I temporarily put it in just to see how it all worked, and just make sure that was the right spot for it before I finished off the boxes. So that back seat there can be moved forward, so if you're out camping you can have a bit better access to those ports and things like that. For spray painting the metal parts, I used this spray enamel, which was quite handy to use. No issues with that. I did some undercoating as well, just with some epoxy primer. So this part here is just showing where I've started to make up the fridge slide. Those sections on the side there, so I glued and also screwed them on. I used a polyurethane glue and had to drill a bunch of sections because there needs to be one part or one side of what you're gluing to be porous. This is where I got my first lot of drawer slides put on out of 3 overall. This shows, this was not the exact polyurethane adhesive that I used. I used a very similar one, but I couldn't find this one in the hardware anymore, so I ended up buying something very similar. Either way, it's polyurethane, so where it foams up and creates a really strong bond. This section here was just making up the main drawer slide itself. So for this I used all of the 12mm ply just because it was a bit smaller and lighter, just so the box wasn't overall too heavy. You can see here I've used a bunch of clamps, so the plywood was actually a bit warped, so the one going across that one there is just to try and get it perfectly straight. This one here is just showing the drawer slide going in place before I put the runners on there. Alright, so this now has the drawer runners on the main drawer section. These here are the first lot of screws that I used to put the runners on. They ended up being, I found, a bit too big, so I ended up going to another style, which is these ones here. I think my understanding is they're called sex bolts, and they're a bit smaller, easier for the actual job, so they worked really well and quite strong as well, rather than just using screws. This now has the table slide put on there using a bit of old form ply, which is quite good as a surface to use for the table as well. I used a spray gun to paint the majority of the box. This is the carpet and some of the different tools I used for covering the box. I just got the carpet from Frankie's Auto Electrics. This is the spray adhesive. I think I just got that from Auto Barn, and that's just to stick the carpet down onto the box. I covered the box up just with some paper where I didn't want the spray adhesive to go, and I used a roller just to roll out the carpet to stick it down to the box. So this is the box mostly completed with the carpet all on and the drawers in and the table. This next one shows a bit of a metal section I put down to sit the battery onto. This now has the metal section on there to hold the control box. Now in the car, to mount it, I just used some existing holes from some existing tie-down points, so I've just moved the plastic back and got to the screws to put them in there. Now I've got the battery here put on and the fridge in place. It's all been in the car now for about a year with a couple of full driving trips, and it all seems to be holding up really well, and very convenient having it all set up the way it is. The little square part that you can see in some of the photos, I made up this section to cover over it, and you can still access to get to the spare wheel. Thanks for watching.